Welcome to Barbell's Business and Boobs, where we discuss navigating everyday life as lifters, business owners, and being a woman in a male-dominated industry. So today we are just going to have a catch-up conversation. I know you care so much about me and Christy's life, but it's been a while, and Christy and I catch up. So we're just going to use this episode to talk about what we have coming up. So, Christy, any big news? Because you've been launching like different programs, websites. You've been busy.
Yeah, I've been busy and I finally feel like I can take a deep breath, kind of. You know how it is. I'm like, it's always like, oh, like once this is over, have more free time and it never ends. So at the same time, I kind of did like a revamp of my two brands, Unchained Strength and Look Strong Naked. And it wasn't just like, advising the website designer on things or anything like that. It was going through all the programs and making them better because like some of them were like programs were like 3 years old, so it was like we just throw out like we know more now, right? So if you ever look at an old program that you wrote and you're like, this could be better, like we just like do things better now, like more notes, more instruction, like there's certain things that like we used to do more of that now we don't, like, I wouldn't say believe in, but like agree with as much. It's like, well, we don't really do that anymore, we do this now. So like, and I and so also making things more systematic with like, first there's hypertrophy, then there's strength, and then there's peaking, so people can like actually feel like they're following an order rather than just like randomly picking a program. So it was all of that, and writing the content and stuff for the websites and all that stuff. So, and the photo shoots, and it was just a lot of work. But now they're both done, so I feel like there's like a representation I'm really proud of out there, and it makes your life a lot easier, like to direct people to your product. So that was like a full-time job on top of a full-time job. I don't think I've ever been as stressed. And then on top of that, like, everything else and doing competing and traveling and stuff like that. But kind of like, wow, like I did that.
Yeah,
So
that's intense. Can I ask you about the wrecking ball photo shoot you did for it? It looked so fun, and you guys had like crazy
yeah,
hair.
yeah. So like, I don't know, I like to do like, so for different cycles of our teams, I usually have like a theme. 'Cause it just makes it more fun. Cause like, that training, it's kind like, it does kind of get boring. It's like you're going to do the same exercises for weeks on end, but if you have a theme, you can kind of like name the supersets or the warm-ups and stuff like that. So this time for Team Unchained, I chose a theme, Miley Cyrus. So it was called Body Like a Wrecking Ball. And so it's fun because then you get to have funny photo shoots and like, I don't know, it makes it more than just like sets and reps. And a lot of people probably don't need that, but like, I think it's way more fun. And then whenever I do it, I'm like, oh, this is so much more work to like do all the marketing and stuff like that. But like, I don't know, it makes it more, I don't know, fun. And the type of clients that I have like to do that kind of stuff. So like, we have like banger sets, wrecking ball sets. I'll name like the warm ups called like can't be tamed warm ups. So yeah, and then like getting my friends and clients involved in the photo shoots are fun because like I don't know about you, but like I'm sick of myself. Like I'm sick of like taking photos of myself at the gym, like doing the same thing. So it's like when you have like other people, you can kind of like, I can like produce this photo shoot and be like, oh, you guys should do this and wear this, and like you look great, like you flex over there. No, you do that. Like I think it's fun, like to kind of prop like my friends up like that rather than like I'm kind of like sick of myself. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
No, it makes perfect sense. But you do such a good job. I always love because I try to keep up with you and know your terminology for like the fun stuff that you name things. So I think you do we've talked about this in past episodes, like how to build an online coaching community, but you excel at really like making it a community. The fact that you had your own clients and friends involved in the photo shoot is huge. So I know we don't do the same like team, but I hope at some point because of our podcast we can do a photo shoot together because your photo shoots whenever you're doing them, like I want to be there. They're like
I want to
throwing
be
glitter around.
there. I want to do one with you because, like, I feel like it's so much better with a person because I still get kind of shy during them. And it's so much better when a friend is like hyping you up or like telling you how to pose. And I think I like fitness photo shoots better because it's like I like the action shots and like feeling strong and like, I get the poses, but I kind of get like bored of it. So I don't know, having someone else like their inspiration and like seeing their poses or like posing with someone is fun. And I think we could do like a really fun one like in the desert, like looking like Mad Max or something, like
I like
or
that idea.
something. I don't know. But I feel like yeah, because you've had so many good photo shoots that I think I've like stolen ideas off of too. Because I'm like, oh, that looks cool or that pose is cool. But
Well,
it's fun.
if anyone listening, I might regret saying this, but if anyone has any ideas they want to see Christy and I do for shooting wise, let us know. It kind of stinks that, of course, next time you're in my city, I'll be leaving. I'm really upset about that, but I'm excited that you'll be coming at a time where you can go outside and explore so you can kind of see some of the
Hmm.
maybe photo shoot destinations, and also like you and Gary will be able to go hiking and see more. But yeah, so the Olympia is here this year in Vegas, and I have 3 weddings in a row that are important. So I'll be on the East Coast. So I just miss you, but maybe in the winter. You can come here in the winter
I
since we don't really
know.
have a winter.
I know. I have a question though. What was your favorite photo shoot you've ever done?
Oh, that's a good question. I would say the first my I've done really cool ones. My absolute favorite was my first like sexy one. I did it in 2019, I believe, and it was the first time it was a non-fitness one. I ordered a couple of pieces of lingerie off of Shein. I had just gotten breast augmentation about 8 months prior, and it was the first time I didn't feel silly posing or stupid. Like I actually felt like a woman because we've talked about breast implants a lot, but I do feel like it gave me like a confidence I didn't know I had because all of a sudden, like
Hmm.
my rib cage wasn't protruding more than my breasts. And I just felt really feminine, and I love how the shots came out. I still use them to this day, although it's funny because I put on so much more muscle that I'm like, and then now I look back and I'm like, I didn't really know how to pose. Like I was trying to flex my quad in one of them, and now knowing what I know, I'm like, my toe is completely facing the wrong way. So it's almost like looking
Oh
at
my
like a
gosh.
lifting cue if you were like lifting wrong. So I'm like, I
Yeah.
was posing wrong. But that was probably my favorite because it was the first time I didn't feel stupid in front of the camera.
Yeah, I like the photo shoots because and like I've gone back and forth too on sexy photo shoots. Like, we've talked about like OnlyFans, all those things before posting on social media and all that stuff. I've gone back and forth of like how comfortable I am and how much I want to do it or how much I don't want to do it. But honestly, I'm always just like, I'll never be this young or look like this. It's like you get to like kind of have that image that you can remember like your life at that point. And like once you do enough, like it's fun to be creative with it. But I think it's funny because we just do those kind of things all the time. And there's probably people who like never have done a photo shoot of themselves, which I believe like, back in the day it's probably very uncommon, but now since there's social media and it's a little more common to like get content, like more people are doing it. But yeah, I remember my first photo shoot, I actually is my favorite. So I used to always use the website or photos on my website, but it was a lifting photo shoot. But I went so hard in the session, and it was like the hottest gym ever. It was at Rockwell Barbell, and I was so exhausted afterwards. But like the photos were like so cool, and now I've learned like I'm not gonna go rep out my 5 rep max for 10 reps on squat for these photos. Like, what am I doing? I'm like, and it's funny because I've never used fake plates, but like when I lived in California, there's gyms that would have fake plates like for that purpose. And it was just funny because I was like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah,
I was so sore.
I agree. I've definitely learned how to like do them better because same, I would go absolutely ham on the weight because I'd be like, it has to be, real, and I have to do many reps. And I would try to, I remember I was like doing like a 315 squat once, and I was pausing, and I was like, I'll pause for 8 seconds so you can get a good shot. And I was like trying so hard to like relax my neck.
Oh
But
my
I don't do stuff
gosh.
like that anymore. But also, it used to take me because you were just saying like a lot of people, might not do photo shoots, but I definitely encourage everyone to try it. But looking back, I can get ready for a photo shoot now in like 30 minutes, where before I used to like plan it out. I'm like, I'm going to do my hair, my makeup, or even get it done, do a spray tan. Where now it's just because we're so busy as business owners, it's like,
Hmm.
all right, I'll do some check ins in the morning, and then I'll set aside time to like maybe actually wash my hair today so I can shoot later. Or
I know.
last week,
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm laughing because I did one last week for Better Bodies. Just I had my boyfriend snap a couple pictures of me at the gym, and literally I was joking with him. I'm like, "Oh, I'm just gonna put my hair in a braid. Like it's hair washing day tonight." And he's like, "You don't want to wash it before?" I'm like, "I don't have time. Like it'll come out fine. Like we'll just take some
I
action
know. It's like
shots."
a photo. They don't will like see. Yeah, see it. Yeah. I just. I think. And you know what's funny is like my friends who do the photo shoots with me. Some of them hate taking pictures. Like they act like they're not like. I don't think they like sign up for it or like say they'll do it because they like really want photos of themselves, or at least at first. I think they just sort of like wanted to help me out and like hang out, we're friends. Um and then I have a couple friends who like it, and they can tell like because they kind of come out with more ideas with stuff like that. But it's just funny because like you have to remember like not everyone likes that kind of stuff. It's like and
I
I'm
actually
not
don't.
forcing them to do it,
Yeah,
but sometimes I don't like it. I'm just
I
like, why
don't
are
love
you
it.
doing this?
I much prefer to be on the other side of the camera. Like
Yeah,
if
me
we do one
too.
together, I'll be excited because I'll be like, oh, the lighting over there, that
Yeah.
I sometimes I've been like an assist for some photo shoots where I
Hmm.
help the other person out, and that's really what I like. But it does help with my own photo shoots
Yeah.
because it's like, all right, I kind of know what's gonna look good, what lighting
Right.
is best, depth, etc. So I'm still
Well,
improving though. Like,
and what's good is that you know how to pose from bodybuilding. I never learned how to pose. Like I can do like my poses, but like they're not like good muscle poses. So one time I want we could do like come on some kind of YouTube video of like, you teach me how to like do a bodybuilding pose. Like I think one time I did a Juji on Juji Mufu's channel. He like taught me how to do um like a back double bicep, and that's like the only. And I was like for a minute he like explained how to do it. That's the only posing coaching or anything I've tried to actually pose like a bodybuilder before. Like it's probably like so embarrassing, probably the way I try to like flex my. No, I'm just saying like if I was like to go out there with no training, I would be like, I don't even know how to do this. Like I only know like my just like standing there poses. So it'd be really interesting to like actually
yeah,
get like a class or like a lesson on how to like pose and make your muscles look, good on stage.
yeah, it's
Or
hard. I mean, I am
yeah.
it's definitely I consider myself still like a novice in that category, and there's like I almost get like embarrassed because I'm like there's so much I still need to like practice, but I guess it's kind of like anything, that's what makes it fun. So yeah, the fact that
Hmm.
you did a back double bi, I think that's one of the harder ones, so you're already ahead of the game.
Oh my gosh. And like I just like don't even understand like how people make their muscles look like that. It's crazy. But speaking of posing and bodybuilding, it's probably a good segue to talk about what's going on in your life. You want to talk about it?
Yeah, I'm really excited, and it was the podcast episode we did with Ziara where she was talking about how she is retired, and it got me really that I almost feel like that podcast is what ignited it for me, because I was like, I don't feel that way, and you and I both were kind of like talking about how competitive we are.
Yeah.
And it's always been like, how as women, I call them thought bubbles, we always have like a million thought bubbles in our head.
Hmm.
So rewind when I competed in women's physique last, which was 2000, like exactly 3 years ago. So this time 3 years ago, I was in prep for my
Wow.
first show. Even though I had done preps and made it really far a number of times, it's just things out of my control, like COVID or injuries or surgeries popped up. So I had gone through the process a bunch, but I was like, you know what? Third time's the charm. I'm going to step on stage. And after I got off stage, I qualified for like the next level. And I was like, you know what? Might as well see where I stack up. And to my surprise, I like stacked up kind of decent,
Hmm.
but the competitive part of me was like, oh, I have so much to improve on.
Right.
And I made it my goal since then to put a lot of size on my hamstrings and lats, which I've definitely done. And I had this goal. I was like, okay, maybe I can turn pro. That seems like a really hard challenge. And it would be really cool to be, a pro strong woman and
Hmm.
pro women's physique. And then the idea just kind of like I had some health stuff, some hormone stuff, which all women go through. and just like moving, and I didn't have like a good crowd around me. And as you know, when you're training, like it gets lonely in prep. And I just didn't feel like I mentally was in a good place to do prep. So I kind
Hmm.
of was like, you know what? I think I'm retired. And then when I started talking to Ciara and like when I started dating my boyfriend, who is really fun to train with, I haven't trained with anyone for years and he competes. I was like, you know what? I kind of want to do this again. And the first few weeks were a little weird for me because I was like having all that self doubt, like because I
Hmm.
actually got the heaviest on the scale that I've ever gotten. Like I was tempering with like 190-ish some days. And I was like, I knew that my body fat percentage was over what it should be, but I purposely took some time off of like doing cardio all the time. And like for the first time in my life, like I was going out and like having a drink and like coming home and like having a snack and like not diligently tracking everything, which felt so wrong. Um, and even to this day, I kind of feel guilty because I'm like, I didn't take my off season seriously enough. And I'm like, you know what, Brittany, you were in off season for like 3 years because there was never a time
Hmm.
where I went more than like, I had pneumonia, so I took like 4 days off, but there was never a time I can think of where I went like a week off of like not tracking or, not lifting or something like that. So now I'm 10 weeks out and things are getting pretty real. I've dropped 13 pounds and I'm so fortunate that I take very, very detailed notes and I have like pages and sheets and Excel sheets of all my notes from years prior. But this is the best I've felt at this point and the most I've eaten and the least amount of cardio I've done. So I'm happy with that. I'm also enhanced now. I wasn't on HRT before, and taking the test small dose twice a week and leveling out my thyroid has definitely made such a big difference, not only in my physique but like my clarity like every day and my mood and all that. So I'm really honestly really excited to see how far I can take it. And now I'm kind of like in that competitive mindset. And sorry, I'm rambling, I'm just really excited, but
No, I love it.
I'll shut up soon. But no, it's such a different experience. Like being 32 versus when I was 27 competing. Like I had a little bit of an ego. I felt like I needed to for my business. I needed to not like let myself down. But now I'm just like, this is what I do. And I don't care. Like I care what the results are, but I'm not like I'm just more grateful for it after everything I've been through health wise, plane accident, relationships, having no friends, being isolated. Like I just feel very fortunate that I can do this. Like this is a choice that I make and I can do it. So that's kind of where my head's at.
Yeah, like you are the most disciplined person that I know ever. And I'm not gonna lie, when I saw you like actually going out on the weekends and like enjoying like social things, I was super happy for you. And
Thanks.
because like you hadn't done that in so long. So it's kind of cool that you know that you're a true athlete when you can, take time off, but also come back and still have that fire. Like you really want to do this, like,
Yeah.
and it's not
It
like
felt wrong.
it's not
And
like taking,
honestly,
yeah, it's not like taking like, and I'm no, you didn't take off though. Like you were still training and stuff like that, but it's like you were enjoying things, and I'm like, good, because life's short, like.
well, it's
So
funny
I'm
you
I'm
said that.
glad.
No, it's funny though, because like I felt really guilty. Like even putting it on social media, I was like, oh my God, my clients, my friends, like they're going to think I just go out and like am crazy now. But it's funny because when I lived in Boston, when I was competing in Strongest Woman in the World,
Hmm.
I went out like every Saturday night with all my lifting
Mm.
friends. I didn't necessarily drink or anything, but I feel like I got into this mindset. And maybe it's because, like, I don't know, like Huberman podcasts and like all the data that's out there now, I became very like, I thought to be great, I had to be robotic. And so I
Hmm.
started feeling really guilty. Like, if I don't go to bed and do my nighttime routine at this time or wake up and get my sunlight at 6 a.m., and that was just because I had no friends and no life. And I'm like, no, that's not me. Like, yes, that's how I like to live most times. But like when I was a great athlete in college, like I slept in till 10 on Sundays and I woke up at 4 a.m. every other day. So it's good that you said that because I felt like I was seriously doing something wrong.
Yeah, no, because I think there's definitely a balance there. And like, I think a lot of people are scared that if they don't have full control or they're not as rigid, like fully regiment, that shit is just gonna fall apart and hit the fan. Because we do hear so much stuff, motivational stuff, and like really inspiring things. Like we even have people on this podcast where I'm like, shit, I need to be doing more. I need to be like, structuring my whole day around this and this. But it's not as sustainable, and you seem like happier now, like more excited now, and like better than ever. So it's like it shows that like that was okay, and there's always a time and a place. Like, are you going to be going out partying now and prep? No, but that's really, really, really good. And I heard on your social media, you were in maintenance for 3 years, right? Like you took a long time from like doing any drastic dieting and cuts and stuff like that. So, like overall long term, you're in a much better place now to like achieve your goals. And it almost seems like more relaxed. Like you're like, I know what I'm doing. I'm doing the right things. And
Yeah.
it's still hard work, but like, I'm not going to like freak out about it.
Yeah,
Makes
it's been in
sense.
the last thing I'll say, like Anthony, my boyfriend, has been really helpful with it because he, I have dated guys that have been in the world and been really good friends with a lot of high level athletes, and he takes it like, if this is supposed to be fun, and if you're not having
Right.
fun, then like, why are you doing it? And so like that piece of advice has been so helpful because I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna have fun with it because it is fun. Like, yes, certain days are hard, but like I think social media is to blame for people
Hmm.
saying like how hard it is. Like, yes, you're going to be tired. Like, yes, you're going to be hungry. That's part of it, but it's not like I've done way harder things. And for me at this stage in my life, like am choosing this hard
Hmm.
because I can't do strongman hard anymore. Like I just
Right.
can't push my joints like that. So it's a different way. It's a different outlet for me. And I think it's cool to be this age because I think we
Hmm.
appeal, both of us appeal to women in their 30s
Hmm.
because it is a different time in your life compared to your young 20s. So I feel like I'm everything I've learned over the past 20 years being an athlete. I wasn't an athlete before I was like 10. I'm like harnessing. And, that's kind of the beauty of being an athlete for what we do. It's like you're going to continue to get smarter year after year. And it's making me almost get rid of those like self-imposed limitations that I set on myself. Like, oh, now I'm 32, I can't do this, or I had a better metabolism when I was 25. It's like, no, if you think like that, then yeah, it's true. But so yeah, it's just challenging a lot of how I've thought in the past. And it makes work fun, honestly. Like I feel like I'm a better coach when I'm dialed in like this. I feel
Hmm.
like I can express myself on social media better for like different things I'm learning. So yeah, it's been a good experience. But yeah, now I want to hear about your prep because what's really cool is Christy and we have our shows are just a couple. What it's
Like a
September
week.
23rd
Mine's
for
the
you?
20th.
20th.
Mine's
Okay,
the
so yeah,
20th. Yours is a week after mine.
so we're exactly a week apart.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really cool because I can totally relate to a lot of things that you're saying because like for you kind of had like a lot of ups and downs in your life where you couldn't compete, in bodybuilding. And then, everything kind of is coming together right now and you're feeling really good. I feel like the same thing's happening to me. But in strongman, which is crazy because like if you would have asked me like 2 years ago, I'd be like, I don't think I'll ever be able to do this again because we were doing podcasts about injuries and talking about how we were waking up thinking that I don't know if I want to live anymore, like stuff like that, like in so much pain, right? And then like, how am I ever gonna get over this? And then coming to a point to figuring out, hey, if a strongman's done for me, that's okay, like it's gonna be okay. Um, but the last year, I've been just doing so much better. Like my back, like I've been just so patient and not rushing things at all. And I just feel stronger than ever. And am I like breaking records or anything? No. But like, I mean, if I compare myself to now, then uh maybe the last time I did nationals, I'm way stronger. I'm way better athlete. I'm way everything. I am older, but that, I'm still like stronger, which is funny because I was really, really strong when I first started strongman. But I was just like, just like because I was hard headed, I would just get the weight up like no matter what. And I feel like I'm learning so much this prep. And like you, like I feel like I'm becoming a better coach and stuff like that too, because you put yourself back in that competitor's like shoes, and then you remember like what prep is like. I'm also learning, since I have a set of events I have to, improve on. I'm kind of learning a little bit more technique for them. I'm remembering certain things. Like, I'm also coaching two people for nationals, and so I'm like, well, I can really put myself in their shoes, right? And so, um, I feel like I've made some like big improvements. So I feel really good. My goal is to win nationals. Thing is, you can't really control who shows up. I think I'll do better than ever. I planning on staying healthy. I'm excited about it. I'm also don't feel as life or death. Like if I don't win, I don't think I'll like I think I'll be like, ah, but I think I'll still be able to go out with friends afterwards and laugh and, like enjoy.
That's huge, Chrissy.
Yeah. So it's like, because it's like, am I really hungry for it if I'm not like obsessed with it? Like, I am, because like if I go look at the roster or look at the events, my heart rate elevates a little bit. Like even if I don't know the
That's a
people or
good
whatever,
sign.
because these are some girls that are really good, like at 24, 26, even 30 something year olds that are really good that like I maybe competed against before or never competed against before. So I'm not gonna knock that out. Like I don't know, but I do feel excited about it. It really has been a big goal of mine, like ever since they announced that it was going to be in Greenville, was to win 160 nationals. But everyone else wants to win 160 nationals, so and that'll be a good like tester too, because I still love the Arnold. But it's funny because people are like, "Well, you're already." Someone said the other day, "Well, you're already, at least you're already qualified for the Arnold," and I'm like, I haven't even like thought about that. Like I'm really focused on nationals. Like that's my goal to win it, and then I can put my goal on the Arnold, which I'm gonna do it no matter what. But like I feel good. Like I don't know what's gonna happen there, but I feel like I'll never have been this strong and this capable of each event. So I'm excited.
I'm excited for you. And I love what you said. Like, who cares about the Arnold? That's in March. Like, Nationals is in,
Yeah,
9 weeks for you then? 10,
yeah,
yeah. 10 for
yeah.
me, 9
Ish.
for you. Okay, cool. I like that we're competing so close together because then we can like
Yeah,
check in
it's
and be like,
fun.
okay, I'm just going to subtract a week for whatever
Yeah,
I am for you so I can remember. And the fact that
right.
you don't have to travel far is huge.
I know. That's why I was so excited about it. I was like, wow, I really got lucky. Like, I have not traveled for a contest since I lived in California. I don't know though, because even in California, I had to drive like 5 hours to one of the contests. So honestly, I haven't not traveled. I think the least I've traveled for a contest was maybe like 3 hours or a little bit more for Georgia's Strongest Man like 3 years ago. And other than that, it's been 5, 6, 7 hours or a flight.
That's exciting. What event are you most excited for and least excited for?
So least excited for, I guess, sandbag toss. But I will say, which is basically it's a max height. You have 3 attempts within 60 seconds to get the bag as high as possible. They're going to have some type of apparatus to measure your height, although it's nothing that you go over. I don't know what I honestly am kicking myself for not asking James when we did their episode on Strongman Corporation, like what they're cooking up for that. But I will say my sandbag toss like used to hurt my back. And I remember at the Arnold, we had a series, and it was after I hurt my back. And the chiropractor was like, your left side of your body's like not even working. You're kind of like rotated like this when you're throwing your bags and all this stuff. So I'm really proud of the progress I've made with that, like, because nothing's hurting. Do I think I'm naturally a fantastic bag tosser? No. But, I did okay my last competition at bag toss, and I have gotten better, so that's good. But I'm most excited about it's the press medley because my pressing's been feeling really good, and I like medleys. I mean, the Conan's wheel seems fun, but it's like hard to gauge how you're going to do. Everything honestly seems fun besides the sandbag steeplechase because it's just like feels like you're dying while you do it 'cause you can't breathe, but
Is
but
it
it's
a
still
is it a
fun.
20 or 40 foot run in between? Do
It
you
is
remember?
20. I don't remember actually. 40, 20. I forgot. I
Okay.
should
No,
know
it's all right. I was
this.
just no, 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 no. It's not. train longer. Anyways, train 60 feet. That way.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Yeah,
I
I've
was
been
just
training
curious.
just my whole length of the area that I have, which is about 40 to 50 feet. So,
So what does it look like your day to day? Because you've been being in strongman for years, you're a serious athlete. You rebuilt that deadlift, your back, all the, you know, back issues you were having. Kind of like walk us through so people know what it takes. What is like your day to day look like with feeling, you work, you have dogs, you have a house, training, clients, like walk us through that.
yeah. It's funny because like I always am like, oh my God, I like someone's a pity party. Like I'm so stressed out. I have so much work to do because it's mostly the pressure of having your own business. But then I'm like, man, I know people who are like moms and also do this and also do this and they train too. So I'm like, I feel like I still have a luxury of like, I don't have like a construction job or anything like that. I work from home. So it could be pretty relaxed. But yeah, I mean, I wake up early in the morning with Gary because he goes to work, and I like to like if I like it gives me structure for the day to have a 9 to 5. And
Hmm.
so get up, make breakfast. I'll do my morning cardio if I have cardio on the treadmill, like right away. We'll walk the dogs. Gary will leave, and then I will either work at home or at a coffee shop, walk the dogs again, and work some more. And then I train. I used to train in the middle of the day because like I was always going to wait to train, and then it was like less crowded. But ever since I moved in with Gary, we have to wait till 5 to train because he's off work. And I do like training with Gary there because he does coach me even if we're not doing the same things. He's like, since I coach myself, and then also we kind of like collaborate on things. You can't really just coach yourself. I will say the only reason I just coach myself is because my injuries. I've had coaches before who just like will throw me programming they think they still want me to do. And I had to work around so many things. It's kind of like, what's the point? And since I have Gary, we've like figured myself out. One
Hmm.
day I would like to have a coach again, but I'm just going to finish this through for now. It's working really well. But so I'll train, eat. Eat. It's pretty boring. Train, eat, go to sleep. I try to go to sleep. Early, but yeah, it's mostly like I like to wake up early, get the day going. I my most brain power in the morning, get all my work done, train, and eat. I don't know. It's like it's pretty boring. On the weekends we hike. I mean, it's
It
just.
seemed boring.
But strongman training, as you know, does take a longer time. So my sessions are. I used to try to be a hard stop at good there at 5, hard stop at 7, but they might kind of trickle a little bit longer. I'm training 4 days a week.
Okay,
Um,
that's what I was gonna ask.
that
Yeah,
works
four
best for
days.
me. I don't train on the
Yeah.
weekends.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
no, I don't. I just train Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. It's so weird. I used to always train on Saturdays or Sundays because Strongman Saturday, Strongman Sunday. But it's just how it works because I'm always with Gary, so we have Strongman Thursdays basically. And but right now my events are actually there's 6 events in this contest, so they're really broken up throughout the week. So on Tuesdays, for example, I do sandbag toss, deadlift, and farmer carry, and that's all I have time for. It takes a long time,
Yeah. Set up.
and it's a lot. So I'm not putting too much on there, but there's certain days where I will do more accessories. There's just a lot of stuff that adds up, but 4 days a week gives me enough time to recover. I love that
Hmm.
Mel says she likes to train 3 days a week because I want to
That was
tell my
awesome.
clients that who are like, well, I think I can do 5 days a week. And I'm like, why? 4 days works for you. And sometimes you have trouble making 4 days. I'm saying like, so that made me feel good. We used to train 5 days a week and that worked fine too. But um, honestly, just having Wednesdays to just after work be able to like take dogs on the walk and then like we've been learning Italian, so we have Italian tutor at 7 a.m. twice a week,
Oh,
and so we'll
cool.
do Italian homework on Wednesdays. And so like having that time to like have something outside of strongman helps because it just feels like I'm always like, even though I work from home, like rushing from each thing to each thing and the week goes so fast. um so it just helps to have in the middle of the week a day I don't go to the gym, which today actually I'm going to the gym because I somehow
Uh,
forgot to do my farmers yesterday,
farmers.
and then it started like then I remembered, but it started raining, and I had to do them outside, so I had to go today. But normally I have Wednesdays off, and it helps me a lot. So just figuring out, you know, and even though I'm off Wednesday, sometimes I do cardio at home. I have a ski erg and I have a treadmill. It just depends on where I've allocated my cardio throughout the week. So
Yeah, that makes
boring.
sense. Not boring. I love the Italian. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's been honestly okay. So I always felt like a really slow learner, or like something like didn't ever process very good. I was like always maybe a little bit slower at school. And actually, Gary definitely picks up Italian better than me, but he also is part Italian, so maybe that has something to do with it. But it's helped my brain so much to learn another language and actually like, you know, figure things out and like practice it and just like having to put things together and just like have my brain firing like that. Like at first it was really hard. Now it's a little bit easier to like learn new things and pay a little bit more attention, have a better attention span. So I think it's
Just like
helped
a muscle,
me.
right?
It's just like a muscle. I feel like it's helped me a lot, and it kind of has boosted my confidence. So I don't like feel as like ditzy or stupid, because I think that's something that I can be a little bit self-conscious about. And now I'm like, no, actually, like I'm like learning this. And when we went to Italy, we used Italian a lot. Just basics. We can kind of talk like toddlers now, but it's just kind of cool seeing like
Something.
if we go another, it's almost been a year we started learning. So if we go another year, how much better, we can be. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean, I think I was so obsessed with strongman and just kind of like in my own anxieties takes time, right? Overthinking, I think, takes a lot of my time. Doom scrolling on Instagram takes a lot of my time. So just like putting something that's productive in that time has helped a lot, because like I'm doing that less. And,
Yeah.
um, it's just something a little bit more productive to do with my time is learn Italian rather than just like nothing. Or, there's only so much strongman you can do. You can't overtrain,
That's a
right?
huge, yeah, that's a huge and important point. And I know you have to go do your farmers soon, so I'll just kind of run through my routine and tell you like what I've been working on.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically the same thing. Like I like to wake up. My schedule's a little different now because it's been like record high temps in Vegas and I can't go
Mm-hmm.
outside with Rosie, which kind of I'm such an outdoor person that it kind of sucks. So I've been doing my cardio inside. And then the first thing I do is when I make my breakfast, I like to prep all my food for the entire day.
Mm-hmm.
That way it's already in a Tupperware and it doesn't take time away from like if I get stuck on a call a little bit longer, I'm just like, okay, time to eat. Let me
Mm-hmm.
go grab it and go. And then I clean the kitchen so that it's done. So that takes like about an hour of time to kind of prep everything. Sometimes my boyfriend will make me breakfast and I'll prep his food or vice versa. So we have kind of a good
Mm-hmm.
dynamic there. And then I like to usually bang out like my hardest thing first that I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
do. Like, so whether that's I don't know. Usually for me, it's programming because I feel like that takes a lot of focus and I can't be interrupted when I'm doing it. Not that it's hard, but it's just
Mm-hmm.
very, very like attention. I need a lot of focus. So I'll do that. And then I have calls scattered throughout the day. I try to give myself 2 days. I now have weekends for the first time in my life, which has been amazing. And I feel like I'm just doing so much other things. I've been setting the house up, trying to improve the podcast while we unpack and kind of figure out our next move too. So we have like we're looking at places to potentially move. So we've been doing a lot of research. But anyways, I go to the gym usually midday. Sometimes it moves to like later because I like to train like you like train with Gary. I like to train with Anthony. So he also works from home. So sometimes it just will shift. And then um, yeah, back from the gym, work for a couple hours. Usually I have my last call at like 6 or 7. I wait till it's dark out and then I take Rosie for a walk because at night it'll be like 105-ish, which is more bearable. She can, because I can't take her out when her paws are going to burn. So we'll do that. And then now I'll start doing like nighttime posing and stretching, working on my routine.
Hmm.
But something that I've been doing over the past few months living with Anthony that I hadn't done for years is I actually watch TV at night or read my book, or I'm like taking a class too. So just something else. Cause I used to work till just like 10 p.m. and then try and sleep. So it's been really fun. Like you
It's
said, you're doing Italian. I've been reading fiction books again, which I haven't done since I was a little girl. And I'm like, this is so fun to like learn about something other than hypertrophy or strength or diet.
Yeah. Do you know what's so funny is like I see so many similarities in our days, and like I was gonna say too, it's like when I was in California, I didn't watch TV at all, and I just worked until I went to bed like you. And like having someone who like has a 9 to 5 outside of like their own business helps so much to have a little bit more normalcy and just be like, hey, this is not work time. Like, I don't we don't have phones in our beds, like at all and stuff like that. So I started reading at night too. It was like, okay, like there's like a wind down time. And so it's so funny that I feel like people like us needed our Anthony's and Gary's to give us structure of free time. And it's funny because Gary's not a guy that likes to like sit and do nothing either. But still, like we still have that routine of like how to wind down and like no phones. Like sometimes, watching a TV show together and then reading in bed and then going to sleep. It helps a
Mm-hmm.
lot. And it's just a lot better to have that balance. It's funny too because like I make him breakfast in the morning and he preps my meals. It's funny that we do like the same thing. So it helps a lot because it's our we're just so driven. And then we have people who remind us that you need to kind of like enjoy life and be present with them and not thinking about the stuff that's like important. Because yes, our clients are important, but there's time for that. And it's not all the time.
Yeah. The last thing I want to say about that too is because, like, me and you always joke. We're pretty open about our anxiety, but yesterday I was pretty sick. Like, I didn't go to the gym because I took a nap and I was like, I had a fever. I was just not feeling okay. And at the end of the night, I started getting anxiety because Anthony was like, "What's wrong?" I go, "Babe, I did the bare minimum today. All I did was my client updates and I organized, I put the laundry away and I did this. And now it's 10 p.m. and I'm having anxiety because I didn't do enough." And he was like, "Okay, well, have you seen me when I'm sick? I don't do anything." He's like, "You did what you needed to do. It's okay." And I'm like, it's just helpful to hear that like audible reminder because I'll start doing going through things I should be doing. So it's really nice. Yeah. And you told me that like when you started living with Gary, you were like, "Oh, I'm excited for you to have a partner because I think that you're gonna thrive." And it's been so long since, I've lived with someone, and it's been really, really nice to always kind of have like honestly like validation that like I'm doing okay.
Yeah,
Because I don't
it's
give it to
hard if you're just
myself.
alone all day and you're like, what should I be doing? Da, da, da. Just like it just snaps you out of it. I think it's just not good because you should be okay to be alone, right? And we learned how to survive, but it's not good to always be alone either. That's why I
Yeah.
started going coffee shops during the day because just having other people around me, because Gary doesn't work from home anymore. Sometimes he does, but it just helps you feel connected a little bit more to the world rather than just in your thoughts, which can, for me, race a lot. So, that helps me focus in a lot more too. So we're so similar in that way. It's just so funny. It does get better when you just have someone there to snap you out of it and then just like laugh,
Hmm.
like, yeah, like everything's fine. Like we're
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
Like it's great. So super happy for you.
So thanks. What are you hitting today for farmers?
So in the contest, it's with farmers with a turn. So it's 40 feet and then you turn and come back. Um, Unlimited drops. Um, so I'm still the contest weighs 210 per hand. I'm still just practicing turns with like 165 or 175 a hand. Um,
Speed
that's really
kills.
it. It's pretty boring. Pretty just like chill, just kind of, I'm still 9 weeks out.
That's fun.
So nothing
Yeah.
crazy yet, but I am starting to understand the turn more because I've never done one before this. So I've done like 3 weeks of it so far, just like playing around and kind of figure out what I like and what I need to do. And so now it's kind of just like building up the weight a little bit.
Putting it all together. Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm actually competing in a month for fun. Nothing like, not like physique prep. I'm doing
Oh
the
my gosh.
arm lifting at the
Yeah,
Shaw.
yeah. That's
So
so fun.
yeah,
You're gonna
I'm not
win.
really. Yeah, well, no, don't say that. But I recruited Sam because I thought that like I
Yeah.
wanted someone that will challenge me. But I
Oh
realized
yeah. Well, that will be a challenge.
well, last year on my bad wrist, so like the one I had surgery on, me and Nancy were like walking through the expo and we did like a grip
Uh-huh.
thing. And I can't remember the exact number, but I was like, I beat her by like a lot. And so that gives me confidence. I was like, oh, I don't even really train grip, and my grip is still naturally just what I think grip is kind of
Uh-huh.
like, I think grip is just one of those things. Like, yes, you
Yeah,
can build it, but I think if
it
you worked
is.
on it a lot when you were younger, which I did a lot of like my my mom made me do some labor and then I
Hmm.
was a rower. So I'm just excited to just again like kind of not train for it, but like be able to know that my years of training and then be able to kind of like meditate a little bit. I'm just excited to be in front of a
Hmm.
crowd because it's been like since the Olympia, so like it'll be like
Yeah,
a year
it's
and a half since I've been
fun.
in front of a crowd. So that'll be fun. Yeah, but kill your farmers. Farmers with a turn are a bitch. I hate them, but do it before it rains. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, so that's my plan before it rains today because it's gonna rain
Yeah.
today as well. Every day.
Awesome. Well, thanks everyone. And again, if you have any comments, if you want to, suggest what Christy and I should do for a photo shoot or maybe where, drop them. Otherwise, yeah, we'd appreciate you sending this episode to someone who is like us and works for themselves and just, has a mundane life, and just know that, the more work you do and just kind of like repeat it day after day